Something strange is going on with La Palma. This week you've had massive inundations of water in La Palma and mass flooding, as you see here. So you've had mass flooding on the island. To me, this is not natural. In this video I'm going to speculate and give you some of my thoughts, because I think maybe the event could be soon at hand, that the island is going to collapse. And this is due to predictive programming I've seen in the media. So you have this inundation where water is flooding La Palma. Now the BBC made this program many years ago, 20 years ago, predicting the collapse of La Palma. In September we had the earthquake swarm, which started on 9/11. September 11th was the start of the earthquake swarm, and then it started erupting on the 19th of September. But the earthquake swarm started on the 11th of September, a very important date. In the news this week we have the Azores evacuated due to an earthquake swarm. This week in La Palma you've had lots of earthquakes as well. So the earthquake activity has restarted in La Palma, and I think that this is speculative, but I'm just giving my ideas out there, because that's what this channel is about. And so you've had this inundation in La Palma this week, and you've had earthquake activity in La Palma. Now this program made 20 years ago by the BBC said that the La Palma collapse would be caused by global warming and flooding. So watch this.
To get rain into the centre of the island, you need very warm sea surface temperatures. Because at the moment, if you go to the Canary Islands, it's very dry on the beaches, you go up the hill, beautiful rainforest, and the centre is desert. Now if you heat up the oceans, and we've seen this in the past, the actual cloud layer and the heat exported rises, and then it will float much higher over the island, causing rain to actually fall into the centre. We have evidence that global warming is causing sea surface temperature to rise, but we also have evidence from around the world that that cloud layer is actually rising.
Planetary temperature increases are not only melting the polar ice caps, but could be leading to Earth's worst natural disaster.
Global warming could actually put water into the centre of the volcano and mean that we have a precursor, and the next eruption could cause it to fail.
So there he says in this documentary that water will cause the volcano to collapse on its next eruptions. We've just had this mass flooding on La Palma, which I believe is man-made, and you've had an uptake in volcanic activity. This will be blamed for the reason La Palma collapsed, and it will be blamed on global warming, and this will be the climate lockdown we're going to experience. So you have this mass flooding this week in La Palma. You've had the BBC documentary saying to you that the increase in global temperatures will cause flooding, which will cause the volcano to collapse when the next eruption happens, and there's been an uptick in volcanic activity. Now you have this Apprentice program on TV presented by Alan Sugar, The Apprentice. It's all about Masonic initiation. It's full of Masonic symbolism. The contestants are actors, and one of these contestants came up with this logo where you see a tsunami and a human being consumed within a tsunami. You have the green and the brown. Notice the colours. Now the contestants were on a ship owned by Richard Branson called Scarlet Lady. So Virgin has a ship called Scarlet Lady. Virgin obviously refers to ISIS. Richard Branson, Freemasons. This is all symbolic. So he has a ship called Scarlet Lady. On The Apprentice, the contestants had to design a logo for this ship, and they chose this tsunami wave with a person being consumed in a wave. Over the last year, I've told you about the constant repetition of tsunami and wave. You also have things like the ice bucket water challenge. All this is subconscious mind control. And here we have the BBC, and they're telling you what's going to happen. Now the Scarlet Lady is the Scarlet Woman in the Book of Revelation. I've said in my videos that somehow they are going along with the Book of Revelation. And Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth, is represented by this Scarlet Woman in Revelation. And the ship is called Scarlet Lady, a clear reference to the Book of Revelation. And you had this logo in The Apprentice. They're telling you that this event is soon at hand, the BBC. And if you look at that logo, it looks a lot like this card, Illuminati game cards. Notice it has the same colours. You have the green and the brown. Here you have it in The Apprentice. Now in The Apprentice they said the green colouring was due to the environmental movement. So that this was a celebration of the environmental movement. Again, climate change. They're going to blame La Palma on climate change. And it looks extremely similar to this card, the tidal wave. Now, what I was thinking is that in the film Obyte Goat 2, you have this Christ-like figure who is reborn, and we have Easter coming, and we have Palm Sunday, and La Palma is named after the palm. So La Palma is actually named after the palm, and you have Palm Sunday and Easter. And is this event actually going to be around the time of Easter? And is that its connection to Obyte Goat 2, where you have this Messiah type figure born? Is this some kind of coded message that the volcano is going to collapse around Easter? As I'm saying, this is just my thoughts put out there. You have this flooding, you have the BBC documentary blaming the collapse on flooding and on climate change. You also have Illuminati game cards with the tidal wave, and you have one here called global warming, where you have a flooded New York here. You have a flooded New York blamed on global warming. The collapse of La Palma would cause this. The BBC documentary blamed the collapse of La Palma on global warming. We have had this inundation in La Palma this week, and we have an uptake in earthquake activity. And the first earthquake swarm started on 9/11. Are they actually going to time this event around Easter? And is also at that time, are they going to announce the Queen's death? And is this the event that they've been building up to? Thank you.